Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom, and welcome to another episode of Less Than 10 Minutes, Words to Yashar'al, Nation of Believers. My name is Symmanayah, and today is August 22nd, 2013. If you're tuning in for the first time, Yashar'al, of whom I address these words, these messages, consist of those who seek to do the will of Almighty Yahuah and accept Yahusha as Mashyach, as Messiah. This includes both Hebrew and Goyim, or Abri, and Gentiles, other nations, all those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuah and accept Yahusha as Mashyach. With that said, let us move into this segment. This segment is compassion versus intense instructions. Compassion versus intense instruction. Time will come when decisions will be painful. Time will come when decisions will be painful. Have we come to accept that Yahuah is Almighty, Aleph, the beginning and the end? Who has come to accept Yahusha as Mashyach, Messiah? Who has given thought that life and death is described in scriptures? Who has taken time to realize that in many instances it may have been brothers, sisters, children who were killed in days of old? Who has given thought that the Most High Father has executed his righteous ruling in times past without anyone's permission? Do you think Noah was happy to see millions die? Do you think Lot took pleasure in leaving his friends, neighbors, son-in-laws behind? What about the time when the earth opened up and swallowed the rebellious, the disbelievers in whom the Most High Father Yahuah had selected to lead Yashar'al? Do you think those who lived and witnessed such an event were overjoyed that some of those whom they knew were killed? Let's examine some scriptures. Numbers 16th chapter, verses 23 through 33. And they read as follows. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the congregations, saying, Move away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moshe rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yashar'al followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Please turn away from the tents of these wrong men. Do not touch whatever belongs to them, lest you become consumed in all their sins. Then they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moshe said, By this you know that Yahuah has sent me to do all these works, that they are not from my own heart. If these die as all men do, or if they are visited as all men are visited, then Yahuah has not sent me. But if Yahuah creates what is unheard of, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the grave, then you shall know that these men have scorned Yahuah. And it came to be, as he ended speaking all these words, that the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into the grave, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of assembly. My brothers and sisters, this was real. This was a real event. Some might have been looking and saying Moshe could have done it another way, and that wasn't necessary. But this is what was chosen by the Almighty Father. Moshe was being obedient to He that is Ancient of Days, He that is Almighty. Some may question whether compassion. If we was there, we might have said, oh, he didn't show any compassion. These are the realities of things, of part of some of the things necessary to establish the Almighty's sovereign, the Almighty's position, the Almighty's people. You see, my brothers, there was some hard decisions made, and lives, including children, were destroyed. If you examine Matthew 24, 6 through 7, you'll see some other things talking about the last days. Who has given thought that these decisions were made? Who has given thought to decisions that were made when the earth opened and killed those who fought against the leaders that were selected by the Most High Father? Again, I ask, did this mean Moshe did not have any compassion? Can we agree Moshe was used by the Most High Father to establish order for Yashar'al? Can we also agree that these were painful and intense decisions? Now, given that Matthew's 24th chapter in verses 6 and 7 mention fightings, or depending on your translation, wars. There are all types of fightings and wars. For some reason, many have accepted these scriptures to just mean battles of nations. This is an erroneous position. Yes, the scriptures say nations should rise against nations, but it says fighting. There's a lot of fighting. And what constitutes a nation? Maybe we need to rethink or pray on this matter. Nevertheless, my brothers and sisters, consider that the 7th verse in this chapter states there will be scarcities of food, deadly diseases, as well as earthquakes. Wouldn't it be wise to realize people will fight over food if there's a shortage of food? Would it be wise to think that people will probably fight over medicine or perceived cures, whether they be natural or man-made? Maybe people would even fight over shelter if earthquakes damage their neighborhood, their community. You see, my brothers and sisters, times will come where there will be some hard decisions we must make. Time will come when leaders of Yashar'al, used by the Father, must display compassion, but will also be used to make some intense decisions and execute intense instructions. Time will come when decisions will be painful. My brothers and sisters, who is able to accept the realities over the horizon? Do you believe the Most High Father will have many of his people positioned in a place of safety? Keep in mind, there will be martyrs among those who are walking the planet and guided by the Spirit of Yahusha, but there will also be those taken to safety to fulfill all scriptures. How do you guide a group of people to safety without refusing to allow some to come? How do you protect a group without rejecting those who would rebel against the leadership? Remember, no house divided against itself can stand. How can a group be kept together unless protections are put into place to ensure their positions in our place? What methods, my brothers and sisters, what methods do you believe the Most High Father will use to ensure his plan? Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. We will witness compassion as well as intense instructions that will cause many to look in awe with amazement and possibly sadness and or anger. This journey is real, and soon and very soon we will come to see the reality of our belief. Pray and watch. Don't be angry at those who are obedient to the Most High and are led by the Spirit of Yahusha to execute his plans. Don't get mad because a person is righteously being obedient. Understand, there's a time of compassion, there's a time of intense instruction. A time will come when decisions that are made, they will be painful. Let us pray for discernment and understanding. Yashar'al will be structured with discipline and fulfill what is written. Pray and watch. Pray and watch, my brothers, my sisters, my family. This is real, and it will get intense. There will be some pain. Until next time, my family, be encouraged. There will also be comfort and joy. And we will find much of that in understanding what must be done, what has been foretold. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, press forward to worship and obey the Most High, Yahuah, and learn to listen to the voice of Yahusha as our teacher and guide. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.